The health minister warns South Coast residents they'll have to endure the potentially hazardous sewage leaks for a long time to come before the system is fully fixed. That's our top story in our Barbados Today evening news update for December the 22nd. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Health authorities have warned residents and businesses on the South Coast they'll have to endure the potentially hazardous sewage overflows for some time to come before the system can be fully fixed. Minister of Health John Boyce told a news conference at his Culloden Road St. Michael Ministry this morning he regretted to inform the public of this consideration because businesses have been forced to close and even several residents have fallen ill.
Regretfully, I cannot give timelines in terms of execution of the full repair, because it would seem as though we are into a three-step process. We are into an immediate response, which will see us stop the flow of effluent through the manholes cease. This is by diverting pipework, both influent and effluent pipework, and strategically by placing new pumps and pipework strategically along the flow of the plant pipes. So this would be a short-term measure. In the medium term, of course, then there would be some level of some attempts to clear any blockages once they have been fully identified, and the methods for clearing and the equipment for achieving that clearing is brought into the island. And then, of course, down the road will become, we will have as a government, as a country, to be looking at what do we do in terms of replacing or improving the entire sewage plant that's now located at Graham Hall.
However, Minister Boyce assured residents that the country was ready to handle any outbreak of disease which may result from the chronic sewage overflows that frequently break out between Hastings and Worthing Christ Church.
So we are very well set up in terms of our clinical expertise, our doctors, our nurses, and our pharmaceutical support in terms of the availability of medicine, either under the Barbados Drug Service or if required, can be acquired privately. And I'm confident then that with that team in place and so well strategically located around the island, we can pick up, and we do pick up any movement in our disease profile by way of that kind of monitoring.
Meanwhile, former Minister of the Environment Liz Thompson is back talking sewage again. Weeks after calling for 5 government ministers to resign or be fired over the long-running sewage mess on the South Coast, the political consultant is now raising a stink over the crisis, demanding that the Friendly Stewart administration provide answers. The man accused of killing a Goodland St. Michael resident last week has been remanded to prison when 33-year-old Anthony Allen, also of Goodland, appeared this morning in court to answer the charge of murdering 52-year-old Tyrone Babb. He was sent to jail until January the 18th to reappear in court. Babb died after being involved in an altercation with another man while at First Avenue, Goodland. He had sustained head injuries.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Be careful not to become distracted when laden down with bags, as this makes you an easy target. Ensure that your handbags or wallet is secure and keep your mobile phone out of sight. Resist the urge to broadcast that you are not going to be home. When the festivities are over, recycle your garbage and don't leave boxes in plain sight, for burglars will be on the lookout for top-of-the-range equipment worth breaking in for. Call 417-7233.
G4S, securing your world.
Welcome back with news from the region now. Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit has appealed for what he calls a political ceasefire in the country this Christmas. Speaking to the country on radio this morning in the aftermath of the devastation by Hurricane Maria on September the 18th, Skerritt said his main message at this time was for all Dominicans to reach out to those in need.
I am concerned this morning that the many thousands of us who have decided to remain in Dominica and rebuild this country must use this period to consolidate and recharge our batteries. We have had a rough 2017. No one knows what awaits in 2018. But Christmas this year must find us as one loving, caring, and sharing people. This is no place in Christmas 2017 for race, creed, gender, or political persuasion. I want to call a halt today to all these considerations. I want a political ceasefire in Dominica this Christmas.
Prime Minister Skerritt also urged Dominicans to also spare a thought for the many foreign aid workers in the country helping to rebuild.
I want you to reach out to them. Don't leave them in the hotel or guest house or other makeshift accommodation. Invite them to your home, to your community, to your family and friends get together. They're helping to rebuild Dominica, and this is the least we can do at this time to say a heartfelt thank you.
And on the international scene, the United Nations Security Council has voted unanimously to impose tougher sanctions on North Korea in response to its recent ballistic missile tests. The U.S. drafted resolution includes measures to reduce the nation's petrol imports by up to 90%. Now, the U.S. ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley, said the sanctions sent an unambiguous message to Pyongyang that further defiance will invite further punishments and isolation.
This resolution ratchets up the pressure on North Korea even further, building on our last resolution, which included the strongest sanctions ever imposed on them. Those sanctions fully banned textile exports from North Korea. They banned all joint ventures and all new work permits for overseas North Korean laborers. And critical to the regime's ability to develop its nuclear and missile programs, the previous resolution cut off 55% of refined petroleum products going to North Korea. Today, we cut deeper. After North Korea's September nuclear test, this council capped refined petroleum exports into North Korea. Today's resolution achieves an 89% total reduction of the Kim regime's ability to import gasoline, diesel, and other refined products.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or even like us on Facebook. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic Christmas period and don't lose sight of the reason for the season.